Michelangelo looking perfect with his pizza, Donnie's got a cool gadget, Leo's practicing his meditation, and that just leaves Raphael? This is 4 out of the 5 new NECA TMNT 2012 figures, just missing Raph. You might have heard there was a little bit of controversy with people ordering these figures from Walmart and getting them before their NECA orders, and that's exactly how I ended up getting mine. The only problem is when they went up, Raphael was unavailable, so I had to order him just the other day. But since everyone wants to know what these figures are like, we're not waiting for him. I love the style of the boxes, very different than anything we've seen before. We've got a nice little mural going on the side here. I'm missing a few of them. There should be a foot soldier here, and then of course Raphael squeezes in there, but even without those, it's still looking pretty nice. The covers are cool, they give me a comic book vibe, but let's go ahead and get them open. If you plan to open all of these at once, you better plan to have some nice table space, because thankfully, at least the turtles come with a ton of stuff. Each one has a bunch of hands, weapons, extra heads, little buddies. Shredder comes with less, but he is significantly larger. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at these, starting with number 1, Donatello. First impressions, I gotta say this figure is looking really great. It's like a slightly more realistic version of the Toonie original. For accessories, each turtle comes with a slice of pizza that looks just like the very first one they ate in episode 1. They each get a little turtle comm, communicator, just a blank screen on the back, and then each one comes with one of these little egg-like smoke bombs. Now, full disclaimer, I don't know what all of these items are called. I'm just now starting to get into the series. I definitely don't have anything against the show. It's just a big time investment to start a new series, but I'll get through it eventually. So while I haven't seen all of these bits and gadgets yet in the show, I can still appreciate the craftsmanship. I like just how different the alternate head is. It's a completely different style. These goggles don't quite fit as well as I'd hoped they would, but they look pretty good. Donnie comes with a few extra hands as well, including the gripping ones that come on him. I like what they did with the bow staff here, a little bit different style to the wrap than normal, and it does pull apart, which is nice, and they include this extra blade accessory. Mine fits in really easily and it looks super cool. It is pretty long though, almost out of the frame. I haven't met Dr. Cluckingsworth in the series yet, but I can already tell by his design I'm gonna love him. Just like some of the buddies in the original Playmates line with no backstory or lore, it really doesn't take watching a TV show to love a toy. In my book anyway. As for the figure itself, I can say this is very different than the other NECA turtles I've opened. I could be wrong, but this might be the first style that has the neck as part of the torso instead of a separate piece. And this set definitely has the thinnest arms. One thing I noticed about Donnie is he has these green wrist wraps. I'm not sure if that's accurate. It doesn't look bad, but I gotta say I do prefer brown or white. The leather detail for the belt is looking nice. Overall articulation for mine was kinda hit or miss. Some of them moved with ease, and then down to the feet are definitely gonna need to be heated up. Some people had issues with their back bow holster, but mine went in pretty easily, just had to line up the hole with the belt. And at first glance I thought these were stress marks on the plastic on the back shell, but all of them have it, so I'm pretty sure they're just supposed to be highlights. Moving on down to those beefy legs, another thing for the design I thought was questionable were the colors of the wraps. The cover art has them being white or maybe a dirty white, whereas these have a pretty dramatic change from light tan to dark brown. Like I said before, the foot articulation is there, it's just a little bit sticky on mine, and I really don't want to risk breaking them. These are fresh out of the box. They do have rotation up at the top of the bicep, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. The knee pads are yet another different kind of style. I just think it's a little odd that they're all a little bit different. From what I've seen of the show so far, it's kind of got an overall dark and gritty tone. So of course when you translate it to figure form and full light all the time, it's gonna look different. Overall, I'm liking this one. Here's a closer look at him with one of his gadgets and that cartoony face. The gripping hand is pretty tight, but you can get the accessories in there, including the bow. Here he is all loaded up with accessories and Dr. Cluckingsworth. For comparisons, I do have his old Playmates version, and honestly, I think they both kinda nailed the design. They each have slightly different color choices, and of course the scale is completely different, but if I had been a collector back in 2012, I would have been pretty pleased with these. Or if these were my childhood turtles, then these would be awesome. Definitely more articulation than the originals. I was curious to see just how much taller they would be compared to the standard NECA Toon turtle, and I gotta say they are quite a bit different. The original Toons all use the same body as well, so it's nice that NECA gave each one of the 2012s their own unique sculpt. And one thing I always struggled with the original Toons is getting them to stand, and because of these giant 2012 feet, they definitely don't have that problem. Standing them side to side, it's wild to see just how different the designs can be, but you can still clearly tell it's the same character. That's one of the things I love about the series evolving. I can always appreciate a new take on an old design. Next up is everyone's favorite goofball, Michelangelo. Will there ever be a series where he's the mean one? In addition to the pizza, smoke bomb, and turtle comm, he comes with his nunchucks, of course. And you can swap out the standard chain for this extra long one with the bladed hook on the end. Very nice. And his buddy is another one I can't wait to find out more about. It's Ice Cream Kitty. Super cute, goes perfectly with Michelangelo. I did find out after filming that you can actually move around the torso, so that's pretty neat. I just love that they're throwing in the buddy character so soon. His alternate head is small but super animated. He's got a much shorter bandana than Donnie, and I love how they captured the chubby cheeks and freckles. For hands, he comes with grips on him. He's got these open holding hands, a pointing hand, and then a pair of hang sixes, I guess. First glance looks are great on this one, but I think there's something different than the teasers they showed a couple years ago. It's probably just a little bit less paint detail. Just had to make it work for mass production. It's still looking good. The pads and wraps are more uniform on Michelangelo, which I do think I like better. He's got his sneaky chuck holders underneath, just like in the show. Again, his foot wraps are a little bit dramatic, just like Donatello's. I wish they were more uniform, but it's okay. Here he is with that battle face, and then his chain and dagger. The extra chucks are just a little bit clunky in there, but I think they look pretty good. Overall, I think this character totally works as an in-your-face, super mean, battle-ready mutant. But come on, be real. How do you not display him just like this? I think the Playmates design is just a little bit less similar than the Donatello was. I think it mostly has to do with the width of the head, but they're pretty similar when it comes to pads and wraps, and then of course the color. One thing that was kind of unique with the Playmates, it was more old school, was the back chuck holders. Not show accurate, but it works. And then Michelangelo's a little bit closer in height to the NECA versions. Of course, the color is completely different on this one, but they both have that lovable, goofy grin. My Toon Mike is the worst at standing, though. I know they're 25 years apart in age, but you can tell that these two would be best buds. And the final turtle for today is Leonardo. And right out of the box, he might be my favorite design. His first accessory is the Microfission Omni Disintegrator, which I guess is a Krang weapon that he uses in the finale of Season 1. I'll find out soon enough. It doesn't match the other Toonie extras, but I kinda love the meditation head for Leo. It's for sure unique, and his katanas are really well done. They give an old Mirage style vibe. Extra hands include this open kind of palm. He's the only one to have closed fists, and he also has the hang six. From a colors and design standpoint, I definitely like the Leo sculpt the best, at least when we're comparing the more serious modes. I like how he has the dirty white wrist wraps that match his feet, and overall I just think the color choices make him look a little bit more detailed. Looks wise he's great, but I do have one big problem with the back, and you can kind of see the culprit inside one of the scabbards. A lot of people have been having issues with these pieces on their figures. Mine does stay on the back, which is good, but unfortunately when I try to put the katana in, this is about as far as it gets without any heating up. And as for the other one, I really can't get it to budge at all. I tried every which way in both different swords, but neither one was going to budge. I don't know if I need to carve out a little bit of extra space in there, or if just heating it up would help, but for now I'm just going to have to leave it empty. Going back to the looks department, here he is in more of a Zen mode with his alternate head and hang six hands. And here he is in my all-time favorite Leo pose with him reaching back for one of the swords, while the other one is already out, ready for action. Working scabbards would be nice, but if I can get him into this pose, I'll be happy for the shelf. Unfortunately, I don't have an original 2012 Leo, so why am I even showing you this? I'm not sure. But here he is next to the NECA Toon. I think these two are the closest in height for sure. And again, I just think it's cool that NECA gave us the different height options for the turtles. Seeing these two together really makes the lighter green pop too. And that just leaves us with the Shredder. I was originally going to pass on this because I didn't want to get too deep into the line without watching the show. But once I got this one opened up, I had no regrets. This is a really cool figure. He is fully decked out in armor and spikes. They have a nice balance of looking sharp but not being too brittle. I think the extra blocky leg style like the turtles really works. And they went above and beyond on the details with the removable cape and that Ronin style ring in the back. One super cool addition that might be a first for a NECA figure is a removable Shredder helmet. Of course it helps that his head is extra small, but it's a cool feature nonetheless. The alternate head has the same amount of scarring, but features more of an open mouth, kind of grimacing, battle scene face. And then Shredder's other primary accessory is this Krang. Now, I have seen a few of these little guys in the first few episodes I've seen, and some viewers have told me that this is a Krang, but not necessarily the Krang. So I'll have to wait and see. I love the colors, the style. I wish the tentacles were articulated so you could move them around, but the sculpt overall is pretty cool. Those green eyes really do pop. Other than that, we get a few different sets of hands and then some blades that you can insert next to the wrist for an even more menacing look. I was originally worried about losing these little extra pieces, but honestly I don't think I'm ever going to take them out. This just looks too good. Going back to the original Playmates comparison, other than the scale, they really nailed that little figure as well. These two share pretty much every single design element, and I think they both look really great. As for a NECA Toon comparison, these two are just completely different. I'd say the 2012 takes a lot more elements from the movie style, or maybe the Mirage style, where the Toon is just a lot brighter and a little bit more tame. Of course, it's cool that we can compare the maskless version, so that's a nice touch. And even though the 2012 is skinnier, he does stand just a little bit taller. Overall, from a design standpoint, I think this line has a lot of potential. The looks are super cool. Of course, the sculpting is top notch. There are a few mechanical issues with the joints and the scabbards. And of course, I need to get the real Raphael to complete the team. FOMO convinced me to get these figures, but now I'm even more inspired to dive into the TV show. At the same time, I do think it's just okay to enjoy toys for being toys, even if you don't watch the show, but I plan to get into it.